praises to the Most High YAHAWAH, the Heavenly Father, in the name of the Holy Spirit, the Earthly Mother, sanctifying Yahawashi, the Holy Son. Brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, welcome. This is your humble servant, Big Levi, and today is Tuesday, July the 20th, 2021. It's currently 1:55 a.m. Peace be with you, beloved brothers and sisters. Peace be with you. There will be no Jacob's trouble. Be at peace, brothers and sisters. As you can see, as you've been witnessing, the Most High is in the midst. And the Most High, he's doing a lot of things. He is visiting the earth. What you just saw here is called Esau's trouble, the Gentiles' tribulation, and also the two-third punishment. Fast, pray, repent, repeat. May the King reigns forever. Beloved, we have a fair amount of video here. We are going to go ahead and dissect those videos through the Holy Spirit. I haven't watched them yet. One of them, couple of them, I watch, but most of them I do not watch them, and I do not know what's going on, what's going to happen. We're just going to let the information flow naturally, flow freely. Let us see. Is that thing even recording yet? Yes, it is recording. I'm not quite sure if it's loud enough. Now, beloved, this is explosion over there in Plano, Texas. Doorbell camera videos shows moment of Plano home explosion. Okay, so this just happened, I believe, yesterday, and you know, a lot of things going on. Let's just read, you know, that's what we do. We read a little bit of the comments to see how those people are dealing with this plague that the Heavenly Father is putting upon them because of Genesis 15, verse 13. You know what? Before we go into this, let's go to Genesis 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. We were afflicted all over the earth for 400 years. And then now this prophecy was fulfilled in 2019, from 1619 to 2019. And then now Genesis 15 verse 14, this is where we at. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And the Father is judging this nation by implementing and administered the 10 plagues of the apocalypse of Abraham. Okay, what you just saw here, it's called plague number 2, fiery conflagration of the city. Okay, let us define the word fiery. Okay, we do this every video that we're doing that. Okay, define conflagration.
Here's the definition of conflagration: an extensive fire which destroys a great deal of land or property.
An extensive fire which destroys a great deal of land and property, a blaze, flames, inferno, fire, and my favorite, Holocaust. Now, what you just experienced, what you just saw, it's a giant explosion, and conflagration or fiery explosion is included. Wildfire is included. Anything that deal with fire is included. Let us watch and examine how the Father is punishing this nation through the 10 plagues of the apocalypse of Abraham. Now, let us read the comments. Thought and prayer for the family, of course. It's a vacant lot now. Surprised those people inside are alive after that. Whoa, kaboom. That is absolutely terrible. Why not some lead on the explosion? Wow, I don't trust gas. I prefer electric. You know, power surge. Nope, Texas ain't got that much power lately. So, again, you saw and you understand that Texas been catching hell lately. We saw in this winter, there was a massive failure of their power system. And a lot of people forced to death. We made multiple videos. A dude find his whole family, their elderly family, forced to death. Another person, elderly father, forced to death. Another kid, he was like just 12 years old, I believe. He forced to death. There is a lot going on, a lot's happening in the midst of those people, and they are not telling the nation, and they are saying that, well, you know, those things that happen, they happen because, oh, I don't know, It's just like it's random. There is no such thing as random or coincidence. When it comes to the Most High, the Heavenly Father, there's no coincidence, okay? Let us move to the next video, beloved. Is that thing even recording before we move in? All right, so far so good.
At least 6 people, including 3 children, have been taken to the hospital after a home exploded in Plano. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager, Sky 4 flying above the scene. It's on Cleveland Drive, just off of Ohio Drive, so that is just southeast of a major Plano intersection, Preston Road and Park Boulevard, near the Preston Park Village in Plano. At least one house flattened, as you can see. Neighboring homes also damaged. The area is currently blocked off. Crews are investigating. We do not know the cause of the explosion at this time, and that's why crews are all over the neighborhood trying to figure that out.
The cause of this explosion was caused by the ley lines. We understand and we have the knowledge that the Heavenly Father gave us that the ley lines can pretty much do anything. They can pretty much do everything. So this thing was probably most of these houses in a sacred place. Is on top of a massive amount of energy and the frequency, the ley line switch, and then boom. As you can see here, brothers, this is destruction right here. This house is totally gone. Then again, we will have the conspiracy theorists coming and say, well, there's no fire, there is no, you know, like, no blaze, no nothing like that. Okay, well, yeah, whatever, man. So we all know, we understand this was caused by the ley lines, the power, and we understand that the Heavenly Father did this. This sees the angels coming back and report unto us. Cursed be the properties, cursed be the houses. I don't care who live here, whether those people look like us or they don't. Cursed be the houses.
We do not know how specifically the injured victims are in specific conditions or what their injuries may be. The call came out about a possible explosion shortly before 5 o'clock this evening. According to preliminary scanner traffic, there does not appear to be any more victims other than those 6 people who are taken to the hospital. Unclear if any more evacuations in this neighborhood will be necessary.
Look at this, man.
We'll keep you posted on that. We do have crews on the scene. Keep it right here. Throughout this newscast, we'll update you as we get new information.
And of course, we'll have.
So look at this, man. This thing is gone. Okay, this thing is gone. Let's take the next video.
We did have a chance, but before I go to that, we're actually now in front of this row of homes where this actually happened. So this is now the first ground view that we're actually seeing of this blast, of this explosion. You see this one house is obliterated. You see a lot of.
That's the correct word. Obliterated. This thing is done. You know, you don't see the house anymore. The whole structure is gone. You know, there's nothing here. Okay?
The insulation caked onto the car right in front of that house.
Look at this. Look at the car, man.
And I want to show you something else. You know, we had a chance to talk with Peggy Harrell, captain with the fire department. She was talking about sort of the blast resulting in damage to houses adjacent to that house. And we are now, what, 1, 2, 3, 4th house up, and you see some of that window damage that we're talking about.
Okay. That's how powerful the blast was. That's how powerful the boom was.
That shows you the strength of this thing, and we'll talk to Wesley here in just a second, but I want to show you how many people have sort of now come out of their neighborhoods. These are the people that Plano Fire is hoping go back into their homes. These are all people who are, clearly interested in what's going on, but also live in this neighborhood, worried about the people who have been taken to the hospital. As we've been told, 6 people have been taken to the hospital. We don't know what their conditions are yet. We're going to talk to Wesley now. Wesley, you don't live too far from here, right?
Oh yeah, no, I live about 2 streets down from here. Okay. And what I heard was an extremely aggressive lightning strike, and right after that, 2 big booms, and I was extremely confused.
Okay, so the brother right now, one thing that catch my attention just now, I didn't want to bring this to the nation because it didn't hold any signification to me, because I do that all the time. I retain information from the nation because it's like it doesn't make any sense, but now I'm gonna put that out. Beloved, lately, I would say about 2 weeks, ever since I began the 40 days fast, and I didn't want the nation to know that I was going to a fast, and certain things are coming back to me. I'm not quite sure what it is. This gentleman right here, forgive me to go into this. Let me see. He has a shirt, okay, that says NASA, I believe. Is that what that is? And I believe it says NASA, okay? All right, so let's see. NASA. Really?
According to Wikipedia, Jean
come on,
Desiree
NASA.
Dimitri Soso Jabatu, better known by his stage
NASA? Is that what that is? NASA. Okay, well, they don't, well, they operate in space. Those are the guys that tell you we spent billions of dollars just to look at nothing in space, because nothing exists. There's nothing over there. Don't worry. It's a bunch of uninhabited planet. Everything is dead over there. So what's NASA stand for? I always say NASA, but National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Okay, so again, beloved, I really don't want to get into conspiracy theories and all that, but okay, this is the shirt that this brother, you know, wore. He does the shirt that he wear right now. Okay, now we can confirm the shirt say NASA. Okay, so why I'm bringing this, beloved? Lately, during my fast, it has come to my attention that I was asleep, and then I woke up in the morning, and in the first, well, no, not before that, now it wasn't a dream. Before that, I was searching about satellites. I believe I mentioned this in one of my podcasts, and I said something to that effect that, man, I would like the nation to have their own satellite, and we have our own internet, we have our own this, we have our own that, but mostly our own satellite. And then I start to do some research, and I find out they don't cost that much money to send into space now, but I cannot figure out why. Why would I want to do this? Why would I? It's just come heavy to my spirit, brethren. I want to send a satellite in space. You know what I wanted to do? And this idea, I had it like ever since I was a backwarded rapper, when I was, when I was known by the name of EBONBLAK, aka Urban Black. And when I used to make crap music, what I planned it, beloved, I planned it to make I already released the album. What I was going to do, I was going to take the album that I was going to make, and then I was going to launch it into space and then let it play. That would have been the first rap music, the first album ever played in space and is on satellites. That was my plan. And I would have called newspapers, well, not newspaper, news station, and I would have called Inside Edition, make it big so people would talk about my music, and then they would just like say, whoa, this rapper sent his music into space, and then he's now the first rapper that ever do something like this, and then things like that. So that's what I had planned to do. So, but right now I do music for the Most High, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm gonna do this, maybe I'm not gonna do that. Why would I want to send my music into space and have it play? And I've been searching satellites for some odd reason, brothers. A heavy spirit come upon me to search satellites. So I'm searching satellites. And then I went to sleep. And then I woke up, and the wife always wanted to go to Walmart and do stuff. So, and while I was driving her to Walmart, and there's a car that passed in front of me, and I believe there's in the back of the car, and I saw the word Sputnik. I'm like, Sputnik? That sounds familiar. Is that a vaccine? And I'm like, Sputnik, it sounds familiar. And I'm like, why this thing sound, I know it's Russian, but why does the word Sputnik sound so familiar? So I'm driving, and I didn't pay attention to none of that. So during this time, we went to Walmart, and I'm sitting in the parking lot. I'm like, Sputnik. And I'm like, okay, well, let me search what Sputnik is. I think it's a vaccine because it's a Russian vaccine. That's what I thought it was. So Sputnik. Oh, boy. Yeah,
According to Wikipedia, Sputnik 1 was the first artificial Earth satellite.
Okay, so Sputnik, okay. Sputnik 1. That's what I think I saw. Well, it's two things. Either I saw this in the car, or it's pop up in my mind, in my mind, and the word says Sputnik. Okay, Sputnik. Was it Russian? Okay. Sputnik 1 satellite. That's what that's what Sputnik means. Satellite. Satellite 1, Russian elementary satellite, was the first artificial Earth satellite. It was launched into an elliptical low Earth orbit by the Soviet Union on October 4th, 1957. As part of the Soviet space program. It orbited for 3 weeks before its batteries died, and then orbited silently for 2 months before it fell back into the atmosphere on 4th January 1958. Okay, so Sputnik is a satellite. And then I'm like, okay, what is it like? Why this thing keep pop up in my mind? A yes, a Sputnik. I'm like, this is a vaccine. And then it turned out to be, it's the satellite. And I'm like, okay, why does a satellite keep pop up in my mind like this? And then, beloved, I went to sleep and I had a dream. I could not remember the dream for the life of me. When I woke up, and I heard the word Buzz Aldrin. I'm like, Buzz Aldrin? Who's Buzz Aldrin? His name sounds very... Is that thing even recording right now? Yes, it is. Boy, I take so long to make my point. But anyway, I'm like, Buzz Aldrin? Who's Buzz Aldrin? This name sounds so familiar. So, and I didn't pay attention, so I took a shower. When I was in the shower, I keep saying the word Buzz Aldrin. So I came back, and I went to Google, and I'm like, I know this name. And I just said, Buzz Aldrin.
According to Wikipedia, Buzz Aldrin is an American former astronaut, engineer, and fighter pilot.
So, Buzz Aldrin, okay, he's an astronaut. Okay, Buzz Aldrin is an American former astronaut, engineer, and fighter pilot. Aldrin made 3 spacewalks as pilots in 1966. Gemini 12, excuse me, Gemini 12, okay, you know what to do, mission, and has this as the lunar module pilot in the 1969 Apollo 11 mission. He and mission commander Neil Armstrong were the first 2 people to land on the moon. Okay? They were the first 2 people to land on the moon. That's what they claim. We're not going to discuss anything, but following the death of Armstrong in 2012, I didn't know Armstrong died. Oh, boy. And Michael Collins in 2021. Really? He died in 2021? Okay. Aldrin is now the last survivor crew member of Apollo 11. Okay, so Buzz Aldrin is the last surviving crew. I don't know why this dude name pop up in my mind and stuff like that. I don't understand. I haven't even read the whole thing. All I know, he was an astronaut. So, and now you got satellites, Sputnik, aka satellite for Russian. You got Buzz Aldrin. All those things has to do with space. And it's just like, I didn't want to bring this to the nation because it didn't make any sense to me. Up until I see this shirt on this gentleman right here, says NASA. Beloved, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to come out of space, but either we are going there or something is coming from there. Because there's a strong spirit in my mind and I have it heavy on my heart, and now I'm making the connection. That's why I love doing those videos live like this. I don't know what it is, beloved, but it is something in space. It has to do in space, whether with a satellite or some type of spatial, is that what that is? Spatial body. Excuse me. Let me see if I say that right. Spatial body. Huh. What is a spatial body? Okay, well, I meant to say somebody, some type of debris from space, some type of things from space, like a planet, a ship. I don't know, beloved. I don't want to give the nation hope. I don't want to say anything else. All I have to say, brothers, satellite, Sputnik, Buzz Aldrin, NASA. I don't know anything else. Now, with the nation know this, probably I'm going to discuss this tomorrow morning in the prayer. I'm not quite sure what that is. If you have any dreams or any vision connected to this, please put it in the comment board. Call the nation, let the nation know, because I have no idea what's going on. Whew, it took me almost 20 minutes to make a point, brothers. Let's go to the video.
About 2 streets down from here. Okay. And what I heard was an extremely aggressive lightning strike, and right after that, 2 big booms, and I was extremely confused. But I saw 2 flashes out my window, so I'm assuming that the lightning must have struck the gas line, and I'm not really sure what happened after that. But all I know is that after that explosion happened, my walls were vibrating, everything in the house vibrated. It felt like my whole house had shifted over.
Okay, so this gentleman, this is his testimony. He said he saw something that's like a lightning strike, a flash, and he heard 2 big boom, which is plague number 10. All right, thunder voices. Thunder voices mean big boom, loud noise, the voice of thunder, and also it mean the weather, the flooding, the hurricanes. We are in hurricane season. Okay, it's still early, but we're still in hurricane season. The hurricanes, anything that have to do with weather. Okay, but in this case, in this instance, it is 2 big boom. He heard the big boom, and he saw some lightning flashes. Okay, and then the explosion happened in his entire house. It felt like the house is shifted. The brother is sharp. Okay, he's a sharp brother. Okay, when you hear him speaking, they don't get one of those yeah. And I heard that noise, and I like Jesus, and I went out there like, that's not on here, that's not on, and stuff. Make our people look like a bunch of freaking clown. This guy is not one of your typical buck-toothed, back-witted monster. He's just a nice fellow. He got a good grammar. He talked really well.
And went to go check outside to assess the damage, and wasn't much, but all I could see is that our foundation was damaged a little bit and had a few cracks in it from the explosion, and that's about it for me.
So you were in your home.
He's precise. He's very short and brief. He spoke very well. You know, we need brothers like this in our nation, man. Somebody that will speak clearly and then on the point. We don't need niggas ain't sleeping, man, nigga, and now we're gonna come out there, gang, nigga, and then boom, and I'm like, man, they shot a nigga, what, they're shouting? Is somebody shouting in there? What? We don't need none of this garbage, man. The brother spoke well, and then he bear an important message for the nation. That NASA shirt, which is connected to Buzz Aldrin, connected to Sputnik, connected to the satellite. I have no idea.
At the time, you hear not just 1 boom, a loud pop you believe is lightning, and then 2 large booms after that.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what you just described it perfectly.
The brother told you it's lightning. You tell him you believe it's lightning. He told you the house was struck by lightning. And then again, brothers, what they're going to come up, they don't know if it's the ley line. They're going to cobble up some stuff that is, I would say, plausible. Something plausible. Something like when people, let's define this word plausible, because sometimes I think I say things. Define plausible.
Here's the definition of plausible: of an argument or statement seeming reasonable or probable.
Yeah, reasonable, credible, reasonable, believable, something likely to happen, something feasible, something probable, something tenable or tenable. Something that they would say, okay, well, it was a gas leak, and then some type of spark happened inside the house, and then boom, and people will believe that. Okay, they will say, oh, okay, well, that's plausible. That's, a plausibility. But the brother would told you today, man, this thing was hit by lightning.
Okay, and I'm sure it scared you. I'm sure.
More than scared me. I was terrified. I thought the house was about to come down. It's horrified.
And you live how far from here?
2 streets down on Atlanta.
That's 2 streets down. That's probably what, 2 football fields from here. That's what. At least that speaks to the nature of
yes, the strength of the blast, man. And beloved, look at this. Look at the tree that is in the midst of the house. Look at the tree that is right there in the middle, in the backyard of this house. The tree is unhurt. Well, that's a backward word. The tree is undamaged. The tree still stands. With a blast like this, that literally blasts windows of 4 or 5 houses away, yet the tree still stands there. This is the glory of the Heavenly Father, beloved brothers and sisters. Give the Most High all praises and credits, man. Nobody else stand there unshaken.
Of this blast that you see here. And when you look at what you see here, what do you think?
I really just hope that that family's okay and that they get out safely and are able to recover quickly, because that is devastating to look at. That just shows the sheer force that that lightning had on that explosion.
Exactly. He keep telling you he saw the lightning. Okay, but you keep telling him, oh yeah, you know, it could be some fat guy. There was gonna be like 6 fat dude in there doing some type of like farting competition, and they had a candle lighting, and then one of the fat dude aiming his butt at the candle and push really hard, and then the whole thing blew up. Zaza! All right.
That was very violent.
And we're still trying to figure out what it is that's happened here. Peggy Harrell with the Plano Fire Department telling us we don't know if this is weather related. We don't know if this is natural gas.
Okay, look at the trees. The trees were supposed to be blown out of the way, but yet they still stand.
Natural gas has been shut off to this area. We do know that a lot of people have now come out here to see what it is that's going on, and this is pretty significant. We have one house that's obliterated, several houses around it also sustaining very serious damage. Chris, Cynthia, back to you.
Okay, so all right, there you go. So that's let's get this one, because this one is like, wait a minute, did I get that? Was that the first one? No, let me get rid of this. Okay, so this one,
2 miles from there.
Right, you see the trees?
They heard an explosion, Jesse.
Right.
When was that?
At the time, I don't have the exact time, but they said the whole house shook.
The whole house shook not long ago, okay. And so that's about 2 miles away.
You can, the guy, he talked to the dude as if he was talking to the dude as if he was talking on the teleprompter or whatever thing that was on his ear. And then the guy whispered to him in the background, and then you can hear the woman telling him, "Hey guys, they can hear you. Stop doing this. Listen to this." And this is the confusion. This is the angels reporting the confusion.
2 miles from there, and they heard an explosion, Jesse. When was that?
At the time, I don't have the exact time, but they said the whole house shook.
The whole house shook not long
fingers.
ago. And so that's about 2 miles away. So you wonder, other people certainly in the same exact area are thinking the same thing.
What
happened when they heard this explosion? And unfortunately, now we see these live pictures coming out of this part of Plano, and we all know what took place.
And for those of you just joining us, we have interrupted World News Tonight with David Muir. We have breaking news out of Plano. So
now let's go a little bit further. Okay, now you see, brothers, the trees were supposed to be blasted away, but yet they are standing. You know, look at this tree, look at that tree, even this tree in the mist. Okay, wow. You know, that's a big damage, but wherever the 6 guys or 6 folks that were in there, they survived. All praises to the Most High. Okay. They deleted the comment. So there's nothing, though. They just don't say anything. And, you know, look at the glory. This guy's just probably putting hotspot out, you know. All right. Look at this, you know. Boom. And if they give me the proper address, I could go ahead and look, and it could, all right. You could probably find a ley line there. You could probably find
neighborhood. It is an older neighborhood, Pete. We looked up when this home was built, the one that was destroyed. It was built in 1971. It was a 50-year.
1971. It's a 50. This thing was built in 1971. Okay, if you add 1971 together, 1 plus 9 equals 10, 7 plus 8, 7 plus 1 equals 8, 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. Destruction. Is it 1971 destruction? It was built in 1971. You can do the math, man. I'm not quite sure if I have that right, but all praises to the Most High. Okay, let's listen to this again.
Scattered across that immediate radius there, where a massive amount of debris on the house next door, on the street, and we've been told it even broke some of the windows across the street.
Yeah, I want to get over to Pete, because Pete lives in Plano. He's familiar with this neighborhood. It is an older neighborhood, Pete. We looked up when this home was built, the one that was destroyed. It was built in 1971. It was a 50-year-old house.
Yeah, it's a densely populated part of Plano. It's as you know, I heard Jobin say a few moments ago, it's just a few blocks from Medical City. So it's just south of Park. It's just to the east of Ohio. So it's between Coit and Ohio. But here's the thing, Chris, you mentioned weather with this, and I heard Jobin say something too. The damage you're looking at there, that's the equivalent of like an EF5 tornado, where there's nothing left, right? There's no doubt this did not happen from a storm. Now, what could have happened, and this is pure speculation on my part.
Okay, so those are the pure speculation, and then they will take it as facts. All right, listen.
Is if we had if there was a gas leak and there was lightning, that could have been the spark to create that. And I do know that there was lightning in that area at that time, but I have no idea about anything else. But I do know this isn't a downburst at all. This is not weather related, because if you have a downburst, you're going to have winds of 140, 150. You know, it's going to be 125 plus. And you would have had damage all over that neighborhood, not just isolated to that one house and the houses that are adjoining.
So I am pretty sure once they got the update, they showed the people, and I'm pretty sure the Most High, he already put the 1971 in there. We know those people were marked for destruction, but wherever the survivor is, once they bring them out, the Most High will show us why he did this. How long we are into this thing? Oh, man, it's like 30 minutes. Already there, man. All praises. All right, let's move in.
Violent storms sent powerful floodwaters, destroying entire towns, some that had existed for hundreds of years. It's all happening in areas not used to such extreme weather events, raising concerns about the potential impact of climate change. ABC's Maggie Ruley has this report.
In Germany, entire communities are left picking through muddy rubble after what some are calling one of the worst disasters to hit the country since World War II.
Okay, so that's one of the clues the Most High put in there. Since World War II, you people haven't seen anything yet. See, what they say here, beloved, they said that not only they never seen anything like this, it never happened. And anytime they remember when things was really that bad was World War II, aka when the United States, America, gained their power. They dropped the our formula into Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Okay, that was since the time they stepped with their iron boots 74 years ago, I believe. That's when they stole our formula in the island and in the temple, and then they did this. That's the only time they can remember this type of destruction, okay?
The death toll soaring to around 200 in Germany and Belgium. Nearly 300 are still missing. This level of destruction is difficult for survivors to comprehend.
There's so many people dead. You don't expect people to die in a flood in Germany.
Okay, that's what that is. It's not like something, beloved, they expect. Not only this, those German things are well built. They put a lot of effort in their stuff. Their cars, their things are usually well built. Okay, they are pretty good builder, all right? And they are not expecting this. You do not expecting people to drown and flood in Germany.
You expect it maybe in poor countries, but you don't expect it here.
All praises to the... Oof. Oh, beloved, give the Most High praises and glory. Yet it happened to you. You're expecting this from poor country. In another word, beloved, you're expecting this to happen to black people. You're expecting this to happen to the Jacobites. You're expecting this to happen to the Israelites. Yet it happened to us. The Germans, the Germanites, so to speak. the Edomites, so to speak. It's unbelievable. Okay? Got some notification. What's going on here? Oh, disaster. Huge chemical plant in China. All right. I'll put this at the end right here. Oh, but we'll go to this next. Okay? Some fire in China. Anyway, so, excuse me. Okay, let's listen to what she said again, beloved. This is very important. This is very important, brothers. This is the Holy Spirit. This is the angels coming back and report unto us that they give those people a spirit of fear, despair, madness, craziness, and a lying tongue. And, truth tongue that make them fall upon their own tongue. But listen to this.
There's so many people dead. You don't expect people to die in a flood in Germany.
No, you don't.
You expect it maybe in poor countries, but you don't expect it here. But it was all too fast, too quick.
You heard that? It was all too fast and too quick. Listen, when we told those people out there the Heavenly Father is in the midst and it's after you, it's not after us. This is not Jacob's trouble. This is Esau's trouble. The Gentiles' tribulation, the 2/3 punishment. This is the Psalm 83 Gentiles' judgment. And the Father's judging you through the 10 plagues of the apocalypse of Abraham. This is plague number 10, the flood. And what they're expecting, they listen to the church, they listen to the priesthood of Mahan that told them, this thing will happen, it will happen to poor people. It will happen to poor country because they are devil worshippers, and better yet, they are the devil's children. They are Satan's seed. They flip those things onto you, and then you go to your church. This woman go to her church, and all they tell her or told her about is they're going to be raptured. Germany, all you Germans going to be raptured because you're the child of the Lord. All of you good Christians, all you guys going to be raptured because this thing is not going to. Is that thing even recording right now? Let me see. All right, it is. This thing is not going to come nowhere near you. All of you going to be raptured away. That is why they think these things going to happen in poor country, aka black folks, aka Katrina. You always see those people always say, it looks like Katrina. Hey, does this look, well, this look like Katrina? Oh, this is Katrina. Oh, Katrina. Oh, yeah, Katrina. Oh, hell no, man.
These satellite images taken Sunday show the scope of devastation in Germany. Here on the ground, that devastation is felt firsthand. People desperate to salvage what's left of their homes and their businesses. This woman had a clothing business in Euskirchen. Her livelihood now gone.
How high was the water up to here? That's right here. Oh, wow.
Her neighbors are helping her save what they can. It's just them cleaning up for now. Outside help hasn't been able to reach them yet. Wow. In parts of Western Germany, the infrastructure has been completely upended.
So that's the Heavenly Father sweeping them off the land, beloved. Germany, or the land of the Germans, is not their land. This is part of the promised land. This is part of the birthright land. All the best land around the world are our lands, and the Most High is sweeping them off the land. All praises to the Most High. Give the Most High praises, beloved brothers and sisters.
Those floodwaters are so powerful, it just ripped through the pavement, cutting off towns. These are the kind of conditions that recovery crews are up against.
Germany, Belgium, and parts of France were battered by heavy rains late last week.
Fire. In the midst of all that, brothers, you got... wow. In the midst of all that, brothers, you got the number 2, fiery conflagration, of the cities. And the Most High is grand, brothers. The Most High is grand. His eminence is grand. When he does something, he does it big. Look at this.
Late last week. But it was Germany that took the heaviest toll. The flash floods sweeping in at alarming speed. The result, the rains turning roads into debris-filled rivers, sweeping away cars, trapping people in their homes. We saw this highway turn into a riverbank. Semi-trucks and cars tossed around like toys.
You can see just how powerful these floodwaters are. The highway behind me is still completely underwater. Those floods came ripping through here. They flipped cars. They flipped these trucks into each other. Now, Army personnel and tanks are here on a search and recovery mission trying to drag these trucks out. German Chancellor Angela Merkel paying a visit to the hard-hit city of Schuld this weekend.
What you're looking at here, beloved, this image that you're looking through your screen, for those of you that are unable to see, there is, well, I always call her Angela Merkel. I believe she's the chancellor, it's like a prime minister thing under the president. You know, it just yesterday I find out like Germany had a president. I thought like they didn't have president. I thought they had like a community or a committee. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is like in your image there, in your screen there, this is a very similar image, okay? When you see there is this woman, the chancellor, holding hand with another woman, she holding the hand with another dude, and then there's a group of people marching behind him. Those people are in sorrow. Beloved, is this the look of a group of people that are ready to take over the world? Is this the look of a group of people that are ready to bring the new world order? Is this the face, the look of a group of people that are ready to bring Jacob's trouble? Is this the face of a group of people that are under the protection of the Heavenly Father? Is that what that is? Beloved, let us be real. Now, this picture, those people are holding hand and marching. I remember a group of people that were marching in 1964. Okay, show me a picture of Martin Luther King marching hand in hand.
Showing pictures that match.
There you go. Okay, you got the brother. Okay, you got the beloved brother Martin Luther King here. Okay, they all marching hand in hand. You know, forming a chain. There's a word for that. Okay, all right. That's what they were having our people doing. Okay, they were marching for freedom. They were in desperation. This is very similar to this. This is very highly spiritual. Look at you now. You guys in sorrow now, holding hand, marching, just like our people had to do. Okay, just like our people had to do. All right, this is very reminiscent. Okay. The movement got staggered jack, okay? Full employment, jobs for all now. It was job for blacks, but they replaced it for jobs for all, okay? All right? This is our people, where you were brutalized them and beating them and killing them. Okay, the brother gave his life for a cause. It was swagger jack. You know, the whole thing went on down under, okay? All right? Okay? There you go. The whole thing got swagger jack. You see? Forming the chain. Okay? Now look at you people. This is your turn now. This is your trouble. Alright? Give the Most High praises and glory.
Calling the damage shocking and surreal. And in the nearby medieval town of Achweiler, more than 110 people dying in that region alone.
Wow.
This man telling us how he barely escaped with his elderly mother alive. Many of the homes from the 1500s or older are now caked with thick mud. Many fear they all may have to be destroyed.
All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High YAHAWAH. The Heavenly Father always, beloved brothers and sisters, always put something in there and let us know. Listen, hey, you guys see this? This is what Daddy is doing. In your screen here, beloved, some of you already caught that. What number that you saw that caught your attention? Type it in the comment board.
Destroyed. As Germany remains in shock, scientists are predicting more frequent...
Is that a porta potty? Wow, the Most High Haitian in the kingdom. So anyway, for those of you that are listening in your phone in your pocket,
are now caked with
let me explain this.
Many fear they...
Okay, there's a German word. I'm not quite sure what that means. If anybody's, it's a Wolfling. I'm not quite sure. Let me enlarge it. So the people that speak Germans, because we have brothers in Germany. Ferret Wolfsnuggen. I believe that's what that said. Don't quote me on this. And then there's the number 12 in the door. Not well in above, next to the sign. Okay, on the left side of the sign, there's the number 12. Okay, for the 12 tribes. Okay, the Most High is here, brethren, and he's visiting those people. All praises to the Most High, man.
All may have to be destroyed. As Germany remains in shock, scientists are predicting more frequent extreme events.
Our models for flooding may not be aggressive enough. They may be too conservative to really predict how fast and furious the effects of climate change are going to be felt. These very heavy rainfall events are going to become a hallmark of climate change, and they're going to become more common.
Yes, that's what that is. Look, listen, what you're calling scientists or climate change, all of that, those are the things that those people quote unquote, they swagger jack the Most High judgment, and then they rename it climate change. They know, they look at the books, and they got the books and details that explain to them certain events that's going to occur, and they dub those events as Mother Nature, climate change, green gas houses. Although that's what caused this. Is because we human are so much scumbag. We emitting too much carbon dioxide, the cars and all that. Do you really believe, beloved brothers and sisters, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 years ago, whatever years, if those people truly know for a fact that carbon CO2 was going to destroy the weather, was going to do this, and this thing would have caused them to lose the blessing. This thing would have caused this town in Germany to lose like this. You think they would have just they would have well, not invented, they would have keep the production of fuel, petroleum car that work with gasoline? You believe, but because the first car that was invented by the black man was purely electrical. You think they would have let that happen? You think those people would have make all car electrical and prevent this tragedy to happen, so they would have enjoyed the blessing forever? It is because they know there's nothing they can do for it, and then everything that happened, they take the credit. They say, oh, it's climate change. Oh, well, the conspiracy theorists say they have weapon over there. They are controlling the weather. Yet, who did they do that to? To their own people. Again, they could have easily go to Captain and do this. They could have easily go in the hood and do that. Yet, they did it to their own people. Those people would have never let anything like that happen if it was caused by natural cause. They would have never let it happen. If it was some kind of like greenhouses, gases, they would have cut that off. Yet it happened. All praises to the Most High, because the Heavenly Father is doing this.
As time goes by.
Climate extremes are rocking our planet, often in the most unlikely places. Siberia has one of the coldest winters outside of Antarctica, but with temperatures climbing to above 100 degrees, they're now dealing with a catastrophic fire season for the third year in a row.
Okay, so for the Siberia brothers, let me define this word, man. Define tundra.
Here's the definition of tundra: a vast, flat, treeless Arctic region of Europe, Asia, and North America in which the subsoil is permanently frozen.
You heard that? Permanently frozen. Tundra. Siberia is technically a freaking tundra. Okay, Siberia is a dead land. It's basically frozen, permanently frozen. Okay, we could say this is the land of Japheth. Okay, permanently frozen, cold land. There's no tree, it's treeless. Let's hear that again. Okay, I'm not saying the whole Russia is the land of Japheth. A part of it is the defined tundra.
Here's the definition of tundra: a vast, flat, treeless Arctic region of Europe, Asia, and North America in which the subsoil is permanently frozen.
Okay, so now because Japheth and Ham, and they invade our land, they forfeited their land to ours. We own the entire earth now. A vast, flat, treeless Arctic region of Europe, Asia, and North America, permanently, which the subsoil is permanently frozen, so it's always cold over there. And then yet in Siberia, which is always cold over there, they has the most brutal winter, yet there's a fire, there's a wildfire that they've been experiencing for 3 years in a row. Till now, this fire has been burning since May. They cannot put it out. It's still burning.
And the implications are dire. The fires are destroying Russia's forests, which could potentially accelerate climate change. And the heat waves from Oregon to Canada, claiming the lives of hundreds of people late last month. The fires in California now raging, prompting evacuations south of Lake Tahoe. In Germany, local meteorologists say that what they've experienced is the worst flooding in at least 500 years. Perhaps no clearer sign that no one is immune from climate change.
No, we are. The children of the Heavenly Father, we are immune, we are exempt. And before this whole hish go down, we are going to be raptured out of here. Not you. We are going to be removed out of here. Not you. You people are going to stay here, and then you're going to get battered. Okay? This is not those two, those men and women, this wife and husband, so to speak. They are not the look that you're looking for in the face of a leader, a face of a group of people that say, we are proud. We are about to bring the world to the top. No, you people are slowly but surely going to the bottom. All praises to the Most High. Next video. Praises, man. Damn. Listen to this again. Listen to that. Listen to this, beloved. Woo! Giant plume of smoke. Giant boom. Woo! Look at the shock wave. Look at the shock wave. Multiple shock wave. Huge explosion at the top. Look at this. Oh. All praises. All praises. Big barrier. Beloved, oh, give the Most High praises and glory. Huge explosion at chemical plant in Dengfeng, Henan, China, July 20th, 2021. Damn. Oh. Woo. Brothers, you hear the boom, 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 cling, cling. This is plague number 2, fiery conflagration of the city. And plague number 10, thunder voices, big boom, loud boom. Let's hear it again, uncut, brethren. Woo! You can see that giant plume, okay, of smoke. This is the signs of destruction. Okay, in the midst of there, you can see the face of the barrier, you know, wearing a nice dress, you know. That's her hand right there, you know. Oops, this thing is blocking me. Okay. All right, she's looking down. She got a nice gown. That's her arm. See her arm right there? She's holding something. Like it's look like What does she hold? She wearing a nice, very nice big dress. This is her feet right here. And this is her eyes. You can see her eyes, her mouth, her lips, and her nose right here. This is her hair going down this way, and her hair going down that way. And she wearing some type of robe, like a sleeping robe, some kind of like, well, pajama robe like. And I'm not quite sure if I'm seeing, to my head, to my mind, that's what I'm seeing. You know, it looked like, you know, this is a beautiful woman. Look at their face. She got like long hair right here and little short hair, do that little flick right here. And this is her hand. And you can see the elbow, okay, caught right here. And she's holding something. I'm not quite sure what she's holding in her hand. And it seems like she's holding her clothes, and she's just standing in the midst of this fire. And then you can see the fire there. This is just me seeing things, all right? All praises, beloved brothers and sisters. Damn, the Mosai is not playing. Look at this, beloved. Oh. Lately, a lot of chemical plant brothers, they've been suffering a lot of hell. But anyway, we know we give the Most High praises and glory. This is plague number 2, fiery conflagration of the cities. Damn. Wow. Look at this, man. Look at this. Oh, Reggie. Oh man, all praises to the Most High. Yes, sir. We give the Heavenly Father praises and glory. And nobody comment yet? I love how you stay on top of this. Push them ASAP. Whoa, the wave. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing, brothers. Why does it seem like China always has some kind of explosion every couple of years? You don't say. Yet another explosion turning day into night. That's sheer devastation. Bada boom, big bada boom, big boom, plague number 10. I swear, there's a crazy secret cyber war going on. You don't say this, Lady Feebleworth. Okay, the more I dig, the more I realize that this whole area is full of some nasty hish. I think I accidentally dug the sewers. What in the entire world blew up the plant though? Why recently multiple plants exploding? Now, beloved, you are seeing now the Gentiles, they are questioning things now. Why? Why recently I keep seeing those things? This isn't normal. And then some people will come and say, yeah, you know, the reason why you saw this, the reason you keep seeing those planes explosion is because, like, you got the social media. It's because, like, people keep bringing it in. It happens all the time. It's because now they are getting exposure. This is the kind of scumbag lies they are saying, they are telling. Okay? Why are recently multiple planes exploding? Because fiery conflagration of the city. They understand that. Those chemical plants, a lot of them, that's where they make their poison to kill the children of the light. A lot of those chemical plants where they put they make the poison to destroy the children of the Heavenly Father. So the Most High is taking those things down. Sorry, excuse me. The Most High is taking those things down. Forgive me, beloved brothers. It's 2:53 a.m. How long we are into this thing? Almost an hour. So, yeah, that's what happened, beloved. Okay, let's go ahead and check another video.
Man who was driving his vehicle down from Vero Beach.
Car bursting into flames after hitting a tree, killing the driver inside.
And detectives believe this may have stemmed from a hit and run. Local 10's Roy Ramos is live in Miramar with new details in the investigation. Roy.
Nicole and Calvin, after more than 5 hours, the lanes of Miramar Parkway have reopened. But within the last hour, we did get a chance to speak to friends of the victim's family. Obviously, that family going through a very difficult time right now. They say this was a 27-year-old man who was driving his vehicle down from Vero Beach, where he lives, down here in Miramar visiting his grandmother. That's when police said he crashed his vehicle right into the tree that you're looking at right there after another driver hit him and then took off.
So you saw now, you see how this thing keep happening, and they imagine another driver hit this fellow, and we know it's the ley line, and this dude, the car split in half and he died again. That's like the third time this happened here, and just like in 1 week.
I can't make it out.
Residents stunned as they came out of their homes to see what was left of a fiery crash that happened just before 1 in the afternoon Monday.
All I see is a collection of parts. I can't make out a headlight, a steering wheel, off on the grassy area. I noticed a tire.
Charred remains and twisted metal are all that was left of this Infiniti after Miramar police said the car was involved in a wreck with another vehicle. That driver never stopping, taking off and leaving the person behind the wheel of this car for dead. You can see where investigators have marked these skid marks where the driver traveled right over this curb before sideswiping this palm tree, plowing through that one, then ultimately coming to a crashing in there where the vehicle burst into flames.
It's very unfortunate.
Fire rescue responding to find the Infiniti split in two, the engine ripped from the car, the back end a pile of metal pieces mangled with no resemblance of ever being part of a vehicle.
That's what we keep saying. Beloved, this isn't normal. It's just like people, we're going to read the comments, see what they're saying, but people, some of them are not picking up on this, but brethren, an accident, you know what should have happened? When the guy hit the first tree, the front of the car should have been messed up, and then that's it. Yet the car split in half. And whoever was driving this car is gone. And you see this multiple times, beloved. Multiple times.
The driver unfortunately killed in the crash. From above in Sky 10, you could see the severity of the damage that forced the lanes of traffic on Miramar Parkway west of 178th Avenue to be...
Okay, wow, Silver Lakes. Oh, man. You got to be kidding me, man. I used to walk there. I got video walking there. It's a nice community, beautiful. For those of you who familiar with Miramar, this is like a very quiet community. If they see you there, you don't look like them. There's a problem there if they see you there, okay?
Be shut down for more than 5 hours. As traffic homicide investigators spent the morning gathering evidence and speaking with possible witnesses, they were able to determine the driver of this mint green Dodge Challenger captured from a nearby surveillance camera is who they say took off and who police are now searching for. And as we come back out live, you can see a piece of the rim wedged into that palm tree. That ought to give you some indication of how hard that vehicle hit here. Investigators do believe that Dodge Challenger may have some damage to its passenger side. So if you have any information that could help police, you are urged to give Broward Crime Stoppers a call. That number.
Okay, so let's read the stuff. I know what this person's family is going through. I just lost my brother in a motorcycle accident this past week. My condolences to his loved one. Okay, so those people, this is the angels, okay, reporting back onto us. So those people are serving the plague. They are serving their sentences. Yeah. Looks like a street race gone bad, since that Infiniti was most definitely travel at a very high speed with no time to react. My prayer, he was speeding for sure. The limit there is probably 35. That's what that is in this area. Wasn't going the speed limit to that much damage. Hope they catch the killer soon. Prayers. They never tell you the state Miramar, California, and Miramar, Florida. Miramar, Washington, that's the problem with YouTube News. No one cares. This is me. You scumbag, man. Why are you complaining? This is look, YouTube. This is WPLG, South Florida. Why would they tell you about Miramar that is in California? Man, you scumbag, man. A Challenger, we already know. They're talking about, oh, black folks or black men did this because that's their car. They're driving the Challenger. That's not a hit and run. The amount of force to split a car in half suggests it was going over 90 miles an hour. And this is not true. Beloved, this car probably was doing 10 miles, 24 miles. The ley line switch, the amount of force, the sheer force, like the brother said, to do this, it has to be big, and this is supernatural. Okay, all right. So okay, please learn when it's appropriate to use gerund while you are improving your comment on the language. Please use all praises to the Most High, man. Let us move to the next video.
To go, not most of them anyway. Workers with the Oregon Department of Transportation. Now, let's talk about another issue happening on our streets, the homeless crisis. Tonight, we're focusing again on Salem. That's because at least 100 people who have been camping on a stretch of road off of I-5 now need to find somewhere else to stay. But there isn't anywhere else for them to go, not most of them anyway. Workers with the Oregon Department of Transportation today cleared out this camp at I-5 at the Market Street exit. The camp had been growing for the past year, and it had been growing because crews weren't there to kick people off that land during the pandemic. But now the pandemic restrictions are loosening, and crews are telling campers that they need to get off of the land. They say the reason for this sweep...
All praises to the Most High. They need to get off of the land. They need to get off of the land. All praises. And you guys heard this. You need to get off of our land, man.
And why they're doing it now is a safety issue.
We don't want this activity around an interchange, a busy interchange. There's a lot of traffic. They're driving very fast, and sometimes they lose control of their vehicles, and then they could kind of go over and hurt and kill somebody. So that's why we don't allow camping on ODOT right-of-way. There's a real big safety issue with that.
Here's the problem, though, and it's a really obvious problem. There isn't...
All praises to the Most High. This is all symbolic, brothers. Pack your hash, get the hell off our land. Okay? Well, literally, you cannot pack anything. You have to leave everything behind. Okay? You have to leave everything behind. And then leave all in. See, sorrow there. Everything
anywhere for these people to go, the people who've been living in that camp. See, Salem only has about 400 year-round shelter beds, and most of them are already full.
How many shelter beds? Beloved, listen. Give the Most High praises and glory. Pack your thing, get off the land, because 400 what? How many? Let's listen to what the fellow just said again.
Really obvious problem. There isn't anywhere for these people to go, the people who've been living in that camp. See, Salem only has about 400 year-round shelter beds.
400 year. Oh. All praises to the Most High, man. Yo, you know what? Let's bring Genesis 15 verse 13, beloved brothers and sisters. The Most High is grand, man. Every single news, brothers, every single video, the Heavenly Father always puts something in there and tell his children, this is what's going on. Okay? 400 year. Okay? I'm not quite sure if that's what the guy meant to say. Is that what that is? Is that what he said? Like, sometimes I'm hearing things. Okay? Let's listen again.
There isn't anywhere for these people to go, the people who've been living in that camp. See, Salem only has about 400 year-round shelter beds, and most of...
Woo! Woo! Listen, beloved, spiritually, let us decode what he said. Let him say it again, and then we will go ahead and translate what he said, what the Most High tell us, what he just said. Look.
To go, the people who've been living in that camp. See, Salem only has about 400 people to go, the people... And it's a really obvious problem. There isn't anywhere for these people to go.
There isn't anywhere for these people to go. Okay? There isn't anywhere for the Gentiles to go. Okay? Why?
People who've been living in that camp. See, Salem only has about 4...
Those people that have been living on the land, okay? And Salem, aka Jerusalem, okay, the Holy Land, has about what?
400 year-round shelter beds. And most obvious problem, there isn't anywhere for these people to go, the people who've been living in that camp. See, Salem only has about 400 year-round shelter beds, and most of them are already full.
So this dude literally tell you those people don't have anywhere to go. They've been living on this land, okay, for over 400 years, okay. Most of the bed are full. They have nowhere to go. Now let us go in Genesis 15 verse 13, beloved brothers and sisters. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety, know for certain this will happen, that your seed, thy seed, the specific seed that's going to come from you, from Isaac, Jacob, the Israelites, shall be in a stranger, shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And listen to this beautiful testimony this dude just said here, man. Okay? Listen to this beautiful thing.
No, and it's a really obvious problem. There isn't anywhere for these people to go, the people who've been living in that camp. See, Salem only has about 400 year-round shelter beds, and most of them are already full. ODOT says that they already know of other camps, too, that are growing around the city. Local groups are trying to do what they can. They're trying to help. In fact,
all praises, man. Haul away. 0400 400. You can't make this up, beloved. Brethren, sistren, you can't make 0400. You can't make that. Or let me enlarge this for our beloved senior citizens so they can see this. 0400. The 400. All away. 0400. All praises to the Most High, man. Give the Most High praises and glory, beloved brothers and sisters. Oh, a new beginning, China 8. All praises, man. Is that thing even recording right now? Oh, boy. 1 hour already, 1 gig. Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
Today, the Denny's restaurant nearby, they let organizations set up booths in their parking lot to tell people about some of the things that they can offer them, like the Recovery Outreach Community Center, or ROC.
There's nowhere for these people to go. There's no plan. There's nowhere for them to go. They just want them gone. And so our goal for today is to let them know about ROC. We have a drop-in center that's open 7 days a week. They can come in any condition. We have Wi-Fi. We have computers. We have resource navigators. We have food. We want them to know that we're there to help them and that we're here to help them and that they have people that care. Because they're human and we're human, and kindness and caring and empathy and compassion don't cost any.
Okay, so all of a sudden now you people have, when it's your people, you care about them. There's compassion, love now. You know, all of a sudden, you know, is that what that is? No, okay, all right, no problem.
Now, she said there at the beginning that the city doesn't have any plan. That's not exactly true. They do have some plans, and in some cases, very creative plans. For instance, the city is also hoping that someone in Salem has a building that they can turn into a temporary shelter. They're looking for something that they can use for the next few months. And
then they have no plan. She was right. They're looking for people that have... The city owns so many buildings. They could have easily get one of those buildings and put it into something and put those people over there.
They are going to foot the bill for that with COVID relief money. It needs to have at least 2,500 square feet of room. There need to be bathrooms there. It needs to be accessible for people with disabilities.
You mean a hotel, right?
And it seems like a long shot, I would say. But a lot of businesses, keep in mind, did close their offices in the last year. So maybe, just maybe, it's not impossible.
Yeah, whatever. So anyway, all praises to the Most High, beloved brothers and sisters. Give the Most High praises. Bring us a great stuff right here. The angels are reporting back. It come out right out this man's mouth. He said, there is really no place those people can go. They've been living in this land for quite some time. And Salem, aka Jerusalem, had this 400-year-round bed, and most of them are full. You know, technically Salem, Jerusalem, okay, it is done. The 400 is over. You people need to get the hell off of our land. All praises to the Most High YAHAWAH. All right. Oh, that's not the video I'm trying to play. The next one. Okay, so this is California. All right. that's more evacuation ordered from North California blaze, Alpine County. Look at this, brethren. Look at this. Okay, wildfire across the U.S. continue as extreme dry condition and heat waves hit the region. Okay, all praises. When they're talking about this, I think I was watching a video of the beloved sister Lisa Cabrera. Let me see if I can find it, and so I can connect this thing right quick. Okay, all right, that's the beloved sister Lisa Cabrera. Now, what caught my attention, again, you know, I really don't like to go to all the brothers and sisters and then just swagger jack them. So I'm just going to let a little, like 3 seconds. What really it caught my eyes in this map right there, brethren. I don't know, again, I keep seeing things. Maybe it's me. I checked the comment board. Some people see it. When you look at on the left side right here, you can see a head, a face right here. Okay, let us decipher it. That's the forehead going down this way, and then this is the eyes. This is the bag under the eyes, and this is the nose. Okay, it looked like a giant demon nose. It's like a giant Pinocchio nose that go up. Okay, it remind me of the nose of the movie The Jerk. Is that what that is? No, it's not The Jerk. I'm gonna look for that movie though once I finished it. So if you look at the eyes, and then this is the mouth right here, and then this is the jaw, and this is the chin, and then this is the beard. You know, have a beard. It looked like it's smoke. It looked like a face, like some kind of demon face that's smoke, and then that's the back of the head. You know, it's like a face, you know, like it's like it looked like some dude that's just chill, you know, some demon that just lie down and put his head against this thing. I'm not quite sure if you can see this, but that's what I see. It looked like a demon face. And then this is the eyebrow. This is the eyebrow, the eyes, the nose, a very long nose. And then the mustache, kind of like the upper lip, the teeth, and then the mouth, and then the beard, you know, and this is the other eye. It looked like a face. What movie? Martin Lawrence? No, not Martin Lawrence. You know, let's listen a little bit to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the West Coast is in another extreme heat wave. You know, and Canada, you know, I never thought I would live to see the day that Canada would be in triple digits.
I too. Okay, I would have never see the day. But again, let's let's look for the faces, the giant nose faces. Let me see. Okay, the giant faces. Okay, hang on. Okay. Right above it. All right, let me see if I can find a face that look like that. All right, there you go. This is the movie that popped up in my mind, Roxanne with Steve Martin. You can see that his giant big nose, and it was a funny movie, man. And it comes to mind, I think Steve Martin is Canadian, right? Is he Canadian? I'll look later. Okay, Roxanne. Okay, it look like that giant big nose dude when you look at the image. Okay, look at the image. This is that giant nose. You know, this is the movie it reminds me. I don't know if you can see this. You know, Roxanne was a funny movie, man. This movie was like, I laugh all the way up to this movie. And you know, this is the movie. Let's make a little little research. Steve Martin Big Nose movie.
Roxanne. According to Roger Ebert, Roxanne is a gentle, whimsical comedy starring Steve Martin as a man who knows he has the love of the whole town, because he is such a nice guy, but fears he will never have the love of a woman, because his nose is too big. His nose is pretty big, all right. He doesn't sniff wine, he inhales it.
The movie was so funny, man. It was so funny, but my favorite movie of Steve Martin is The Jerk. So let me see if I can Steve Martin and okay, what is that? Steve Martin, is he Canadian? He's an American actor, comedian. No, so he's not Canadian. Which one of them is Canadian? I believe is Steve Martin Canadian?
According to CTV Windsor, CTV News, Steve Martin is American and Martin Short is Canadian.
Ah, okay. So Steve Martin is American and Martin Short is Canadian. Okay, I think I confused him with Steve, whatever this dude is name. Okay, The Jerk, the movie.
The Jerk 2.
Okay, so The Jerk, the movie, that's like my favorite movie that he ever done. You know, oh man, The Jerk was like, and it was very subliminal, okay? And The Jerk, this is actually the story of slave. This guy, as a white man, he was raised by former poor slave people, okay? All right? And then it's a very funny movie. I highly recommend you watch the movie, The Jerk. And, you know, he was raised by black folks, and then he was acting like a, okay, let me see if I can pull up. They have the whole slavery thing in there, and you have to. I need to watch this movie again because it was very subliminal. I watched it when I was a kid. Now I remember. I watched the 1979 version. I haven't watched the number 2. Let me see. The Jerk movie, Steve Martin family.
The Jerk is a 1979 movie directed by Carl Reiner, starring Steve Martin, Bernadette Peters, and Mabel King.
Okay, Mabel King, she was her mother. I don't want to spoil the movie for those of you that's going to watch it. Let me see if I can get it. I have to say it very fast. The Jerk movie, Steve Martin family.
The Jerk is a 1970.
Okay, there you go. Okay, this is the family that raised him, a family of black folks. Okay, he thought he was black. He never really thought he was white up until he met other white people. Okay, he was in this family. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, he was in this 12 member of black folks family. When you watch those movies and then you start to understand that, you know, hey, well, let me count it again. I don't want to, you know, Big Leaf, I always have a problem counting stuff. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. You got 12 black folks. He made the 13. Technically, what they're trying to say here, you got the 12 tribe. He's supposed to be the 13th tribe. We know the 13th quote-unquote tribe is Dinah, you know, a female, since, you know, the seed doesn't come from to her. But, you know, the 13th tribe is, you know, Ashkenazi or whatever you want to call it. That's what the subliminal message is. That thing even recording now? Okay, sorry, beloved. It always take me a very long time to make points when I'm seeing something. So, this movie, The Jerk, and he was raised. He thought he was black until he start meeting other white people, and they become very racist towards him. And then, you know, and then he become like, he understand that, you know, the black struggle, something like that. So 12 family, and the only person that could read in the family was her. And then and you know, the movie is all too funny. He was written to his family. He was dancing with the family. He was so happy in the midst of this black family. Okay, and this is the letter he used to send. Oh, that was the grandma that usually know how to read. Okay, this is where he was living, in like a ghetto and like a slave stable. You know, it was a beautiful movie. Okay, so you know, he thought like they found him. They throw him away, and he find comfort in the midst of those black folks. And then you know, I don't want to spoil the movie, but you can watch it. I'm not quite sure where they have it. Let me see. Steve Martin, The Jerk.
The Jerk is a 1979 movie directed by Carl Reiner, starring Steve Martin, Bernadette Peters, and Mabel King.
Where they have The Jerk? Usually they'll tell us where they have it. Amazon. They have it on Amazon. I believe they have it on Amazon Prime. They have it on Amazon Prime and a couple other places. You can watch the jerk. I was born poor black child. You know, that's like, he thought he was black, brothers. And this movie is loaded with subliminal messages. Now we have the spiritual eyes. Go ahead, watch it, and let me know what you think. I watched that movie when I was a kid, so I'm gonna watch it again and see, you know, if I can catch anything in there. But all praises to the Most High. That's what, you know, Steve Martin and the whole thing, the long faces, the long nose, and all that. Probably that's what the Most High had me seeing this, so I can bring this to the nation. All praises, okay? Give the Most High glory and praises, beloved brothers and sisters. Let us move in. Okay, that's the dry fire. Okay, that's the dry weather, and then that's the fire. Let us move in, brethren.
To expect, and then working with them on.
Latest on the condo collapse. The death toll stands at 97, and all but 2 of those victims have been identified.
And we are learning more about the extraordinary steps having to be taken to positively identify some of the remains more than 3 weeks after the tragedy. Local 10's Christina Vasquez is live with more. Christina.
Tonight, the medical examiner's office is offering you a unique vantage point into their diligent and delicate work at this stage of the recovery mission.
We're still using DNA. It's just a question of how we get that DNA.
In a rare interview.
Let me cut to the chase here. What happened here, beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, the people, the reason why they are using this type of identification is because they are finding nothing but body parts. They are finding nothing but remains, mutilated remains. That's what they are finding. They're trying to make it look good and stuff like that, but that's what that is. All praises to the Most High. 0 survivor.
This morning, but following that incident, the suspect drove to
Welcome back in. What started as a call of a house fire just before 4 p.m. near Ajo and South Kino Parkway yesterday turned into a shooting spanning 3 locations. 9 on your side's Megan Meyer joins us live now from Banner UMC. That's where 2 EMTs were taken. 1 still in critical condition this morning. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning. Well, Tucson police tell us that suspect did not stop after he shot at those 2 EMTs, hitting one in the head and another in the arm and chest. The one that was hit in the head is now here in critical condition.
Beloved, you see the craziness. Well, you know, she hold the mic. The mic have number 9, channel number 9, destruction. This dude, something happened, a fire, some guy show up, EMT show up, he shoot at them.
This morning, but following that incident, the suspect drove to a house fire on Irene Vista and began shooting at firefighters and other neighbors on scene. 3 people were shot, a Tucson fire captain and 2 neighbors. The fire captain and one of the neighbors are now in good condition, but the other neighbor, a 44-year-old man, was shot in the head and killed. Soon after, the suspect rammed his car into a police vehicle responding to the incident and shot at the officer driving it. The officer, an 8-year veteran, shot back, and the suspect is now in critical condition. The suspect, we know, is 35 years old, and they are also in care here at Banner. Now, there are 2 other important details I want to point out about this entire incident. One person was found dead inside that fire, that house, actually, that caught on fire, and then also Tucson police revealed to us last night that 2 or 3 children that are associated with that original house fire call are now missing, and we are waiting to hear back from Tucson police this morning with an update about those kids. And if
brethren, sistren, children, I don't know what happened here. This whole thing is upside down. Multiple people shot, including ambulance crew in Tucson. You know, I always like to call it Tucson, but in Tucson. What is this? A guy called the police, and then he went to a house. There's a fire. They were putting the fire out. He shot at the people. He killed a dude. There's kids missing. the whole thing is confusing, brothers. I don't know what happened here, but we know this is plague number 2 and plague number 9. Okay, execution by the sword and also fiery conflagration of the cities. It's only going to get worse. All praises to the Most High. Let us keep on moving. Oh wait, hang on. Let's read how long we are into this thing. 1:30. Let's read the comments. Deny all these maniacs medical treatment. They choose the action, suffer the consequences. It sounds like the shooter may have set the fire to cover up a crime scene and try to prevent emergency crews from being able to put the fire out. Bad enough you shoot up the place, but to shoot the arrival medical response team as well, that's a whole another level of crazy. Give them a spirit of madness. Prayers for the children are found safe and sound. This is why the EMT crew always, no chance, waits for police backup before responding to someone who needs help. Whoa, what a strange chain of events it is. My heart and prayers go out to the torches stuff, and this doesn't sound random. This sounds very personal. Please, God, return the babies unharmed. People don't stop killing. This is becoming too common. Listen, this is becoming too common. I am glad the suspect did not die. That would not be fair. He should make a full recovery and then stand trial, you know, because he's white. They are seeing that, brothers. They are. They are seeing this is way too common. It happened way too much. Not only that, the reason why they are saying this because it's not happening to you. It's happening to them. They keep seeing it in their community. Okay? We are living in the most evil and demonic times. I can't understand watching the news because it's more bad than will ever be good. People have just lost themselves in their minds. Okay? They are seeing those things, beloved. This is the angels reporting back unto us. It's 2021. Firefighters needs to be armed with AR-15s and 40 cals so they can shoot black folks. 35 years old. I bet the body in the house is his wife or girlfriend that he murdered. Luckily, the children were located alive and well. I hope the first responder recover from the injuries. Why have people just gone absolutely crazy? This is nuts because there is a curse upon them. There is a curse upon them. Okay, these crimes should be listed as hate crime. Why? Why? Homeland terrorists. Yeah, they are whites. Truth. This isn't a hate crime. That's a crime against view stuff. Boy. Damn, people are losing their minds. Just wait till the mandatory closure of this next COVID wave. They are losing their freaking mind. So there were 2 different shooting locations. The first sounds strange. He is randomly shooting paramedics. All praises to the Most High. Those are the angels reporting back so we can give praises to the Most High, beloved. Let us keep on moving.
Here, drivers doing donuts on a busy highway, blocking traffic and even setting off fireworks.
And it's not the first time that we've seen dangerous stunts like this. Local 10 News reporter Leanne Motorhona is live in Northwest Miami-Dade with more. Leanne.
That's right. This is not a unique to South Florida problem. We've seen other videos like that popping up around the country. The problem, according to FHB, is that these incidents start and end so fast, it's hard for them to do anything about it.
Cell phone video shows a wild scene unfolding on I-95. Cars blocking the flow of traffic so a small group can do donuts on the roadway and even set off fireworks. Hundreds of cars backed up on the I as a result.
So this is the I-95, brothers, where traffic flow nonstop. Yet you got this group of people went over there. They blocked the place, and then they are doing donuts and fireworks and posted on TikTok and all that. This is why this place has to go down. Well, the 2/3, I don't listen anyway. So, we don't care.
They think that by stopping the vehicles in the road that they may have some kind of a controlled environment, and that's absolutely not the case.
Lieutenant Alex Camacho with the Florida Highway Patrol says this isn't an isolated incident.
It's unfortunately become a social media trend, and not only is it extremely irresponsible, it's extremely dangerous.
Okay, so that's the spirit of madness that's the angel put upon them. All praises.
They're trying to figure out what happened after a car crashed into a storage pod outside of a Long Island home.
CBS 2's Natalie Dedridge is live in Williston Park with more. Natalie?
Well, yes, police tell us that the driver was briefly trapped inside the vehicle and had to be extricated, and we are still waiting on an update on that person's condition from officers. Now, I want to show you the scene here. If you zoom in there, you can see two vehicles. It's unclear exactly what happened. Witnesses say they saw a car speeding down the street at Willis Avenue and William Street, then veer through this clothing store parking lot. You can see a burgundy vehicle appears to have crashed into this storage pod and then into the home behind it. Now, it's hard to get the full picture from where we are standing, so I want to show you the aerial view from Chopper 2. You can see a black SUV also appears to have smashed into this storage pod, as well as the fence next to it. And on the other side of that fence, you can also see some children's toys and some debris there. The latest from police is that no one inside the home was hurt, but neighbors say they saw the residents here quite shaken up.
This is crazy. Driver hospitalized after car slams into Long Island home. Crazy stuff, brothers. Ley line.
The children and the parents were eating breakfast, and all of a sudden they hear this big bomb, and the whole house shook, and that's how it all happened.
Thank God that nobody got hurt in the house, because it broke the kitchen cabinet, it broke the water.
Police are still investigating what caused this crash, whether perhaps it may have been an medical episode. Again, we are still waiting on the latest, the condition on.
That's not what that is, man. It's the ley line. The crash is so unusual. It's so weird. They don't know what causing this, but it's the ley line. I live down the street, saw this in person this morning. Okay. All right, pray for everyone. The house is very strong. Oh, good, it was a storage pod. Yeah. The dude that's driving that car is a mad old medical emergency. That's not what that is. That's not what that is. All praises. Let's move.
Road rage. That's what police are calling a shooting on a residential street that left bullet holes in a truck and a home in Louisiana. Watch as the passenger door on a gray sedan opens before the car has come to a complete stop. A person jumps out with a weapon, allegedly firing rounds at a white pickup truck. Slidell police released this surveillance video on social media with a statement from its chief, Randy Fandel, saying, "We will not tolerate this kind of careless and inexcusable behavior in Slidell." An officer spotted the gray sedan later that day and arrested 21-year-old Kendall Matthews in.
Okay, this dude is 21 years old. He looked like us. For the sake of this video, we'll call him a 2/3. Yes, he had the curse upon him. 21 reverse. Road rage on the rise. He just opened up the car, open up the door, and start shooting at the other car. All praises to the Most High. Next video.
Passengers forced to jump into the water, and this happened Sunday near the Hillsborough Inlet.
And we're hearing from a man who witnessed that boat going down. Let's go to Local 10's Sinella Sabovic live now in Pompano Beach with much more. Sinella.
What a scary ordeal for these passengers, Calvin and Nicole. That boat was about 2 miles east here of the Hillsborough Inlet off the coast of Pompano Beach. When it started taking on water, other divers in the area noticed that it was sinking and raced in to help out.
We got a boat sinking.
It was supposed to be a routine diving expedition.
Guys, don't get a rescue ladder, go.
11 passengers and 2 crew members of the Safari Diver were about to go diving 2 miles off the coast of Pompano Beach when their boat suddenly started taking on water. You can see it listing in this video, and in a matter of minutes, it was gone.
Okay, so you've been witnessing and you are seeing that those people can't enjoy anything. They were about to go scuba diving, and this happened. For no reason, the boat started gaining water, and then matter of second, it is gone. They don't know what happened. The other day we was watching a dude. He went scuba diving, brethren. They never found him. They found his clothes shredded, and they presume he was tore up by a predator, some kind of sea predator. Who could do this beside a shark? And the predator that did this to this guy shows sign of highly intelligent, or intelligence or whatever. That thing took the computer away from this dude, put it somewhere, took his equipment down, and shred him to pieces and eat him. And now you got those people going for scuba diving, and for some reason, how many were they? 12, 11, 10, a dozen? I'm not quite sure. And then the boat just starts sinking. That's what it is.
Other dive boats in the area racing to help out.
The boat was in distress, so we flew as fast as we could over just to land assistance.
Oliver Paoli says his crew rescued half of the divers, a mixture of tourists and locals.
So we swung the boat carefully around and we deployed the tagline in the water, and we asked the divers to come over our ladder. And at that point we got 7 people on board.
Okay, 7 people on board.
Safely.
The Safari Diver, a 34-foot Crusader, is one of 3 vessels owned by South Florida Diving Headquarters, located at the Sands Harbor Hotel and Marina in Pompano Beach. It would normally be docked at the marina there. The president of the company said that nothing was wrong with the boat, that it started taking on water in the rear. The Coast Guard, FWC, and SeaTow responded. SeaTow was tasked to recover the dive boat, but crews say it wasn't salvageable and will remain 70 feet underwater.
Wow. All praises to the Most High. The Most High sank your boat, and then it says 70 shepherd underwater. And he stayed 70 elders under the water. And he stayed 70 days of Daniel under the water. 70 feet, 70 meters. 7 people got in the boat. They rescued 7. 70. All those things, brothers, the Most High do this for us to see. All praises to the Most High.
So SeaTow says it is not a navigational hazard, so at this point it will remain underwater. It's unclear if another company will come to refloat that vessel, and the owner of the company says that he is thankful that all of those passengers and the crew members are okay. We did reach out to the Coast Guard. They say that they're really at the beginning stages of their investigation. Ley line, or a very smart animal. All praises to the Most High. Okay, so this dude over there, you just see him. He came in with a lighter, tried to light up the gas station on fire. Okay, trying to light, give them a spirit of madness. He tried to light it on fire, and then it weren't. That guy left. That guy left chasing him. Okay, that guy left. They tried to light this thing on fire, man. I don't know for what reason. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. You know? So, it's crazy. Okay, this dude is rushing in there. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I went to get a fire extinguisher, or what is it? This is crazy, man. Those people have spirits on them. And that's what happened here. I think that guy just reported him. Just acts of random violence, random things. I believe he's trying to chase the guy. All praises, man.
Germany is witnessing...
All praises to the Most High.
Germany is witnessing once in a lifetime, once in a millennium floods, in fact. The worst floods in 1,000 years. And the worst natural disaster in almost 6 decades. The situation is being called terrifying. It's been 5 days and the floods haven't died down. The devastation is not limited to Germany. In fact, it has spread to Belgium, the Netherlands, Austria, Switzerland, Luxembourg, and parts of Italy.
Those are Psalm 83. Those are all the people that came upon the loin of the Heavenly Father's children. Okay? So let us see how the Heavenly Father is dealing with those people. All right? Excuse me.
So what is the scale of the damage? How many lives have been lost? And what is being done to ease the situation? Our next report explores.
Roads turned into rivers. Vehicles swept away like toys. Swaths of land buried under thick mud. And narrow escapes that are horrifying to watch.
All praises, all praises.
This devastation is occurring simultaneously in 7 European countries.
Okay, at the same time, the Most High give them a perfect destruction at 7 European countries.
Belgium, the
1,
Netherlands,
2,
Luxembourg,
3,
Switzerland,
4,
Italy, Austria,
5, 6,
and Germany.
7. So those are all the people that came upon us. Those are all the people when we were ruling Europe back then, during the time of the Druids, during the time of Vercingetorix. Let me see if I can pull up Vercingetorix. 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 Great. Vercingetorix. A black man. Read the book, the Black Celt. Okay, so this Swagger Jack. Swagger Jack. Huh. Where's that little button? Druid 2001. Young Vercingetorix. Let me see this movie. I never heard of it. Druids. Oh, yeah. They're going to strike me. Okay, I never heard of this movie, Druids, but anyway, if you watch this, so Vercingetorix, okay, that was a black man, okay. Vercingetorix was a king of chieftain of the Arverni tribe, okay. They changed this tribe. I'm not quite sure. It could have been Naphtali. It could have been one of the tribe, but they changed it. Arverni tribe who united the Gauls, which is French. Okay, Gaul is like pretty much what they just mentioned here. Gaul. Okay, let me see if Gaul. Okay, will unite Gauls and a fell revolt against Roman forces during the last phase of Julius. So Vercingetorix. He was a black man. He was a Hebrew man. So they swagger jack him, make him look like this. Okay, that was during his time when we were ruling. Okay, he was fighting the woman. Okay, he was fighting the Edomites. He was an Israelite man. Okay, so that's him. They swagger jack him. You know, so that's Asterix Obelix and French history was Vercingetorix. Okay, so you know. All that stuff. Now, he united Gauls. Okay, La Gaule. Let me see if Gauls. Well, I'm gonna have to type it in because Gaul region. Okay. The Gauls, Latin, Galli, ancient Greek, a group of Celtic peoples of continental Europe and the Iron. Okay, let me see. Let me see who was in the Gaul era. The Gauls, Middle Rhine. Okay, now listen. They had expanded over much of what is now France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Switzerland, South Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic and the Slovakia. Now let's hear which region that is affected. The Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Germany, Italy, Austria. Okay, we have Austria, we have Germany, we have Switzerland, we have the Netherlands, we have Belgium, and we have France. All of them are being swept off because of what they did to our people when we were there. during that time when they came in the Swagger Jackals. I don't want to really go into deep into the Black Celt book, the Black Celt book. Thank you for the beloved sister that sent me that book. I have it here, the original, and I believe the beloved brother Abdullah Seer posted a video, a little note that the guy he released. The beloved brother YAHAWAH, the Unifier, forgive me, the brother just posts. The book is now available on Amazon. So okay, now we know that this flooding is happening on behalf of the tribe that we had that was ruling this place, and when the land was ours, and then Julius the Caesar, the Edomite, came in, the Roman Empire came in and swept us off of this land.
The total death toll in these countries has soared to over 180. The worst hit is Germany. This is Germany's worst natural disaster in more than half a century. This is the aftermath of a severe mudslide triggered by the floods. This is in West Germany, where several areas have become inaccessible, and hundreds have gone missing or are unreachable. Towns near river valleys and low-lying plains are worse off. This is the town of Bad Schandau, situated along the river Elbe. This is how torrents of water are cascading through its streets. In Berchtesgaden, roads have become impassable.
So the most I mess up the road, they cannot come and rescue those people. Okay, the road is all messed up. So they have to send helicopters and stuff like that, but they cannot really send anything by land.
Railway tracks are covered in mud. The German Chancellor visited the flood-stricken areas and described the situation as terrifying.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. I would say there is no word in the German language to describe this devastation.
It's terrifying, okay? Her name is Angela Merkel. Why they keep calling her Angela? Is that what that is? Angela Merkel? Anyway, that doesn't matter. Now, those people have a spirit of fear. This is terrifying them. They are afraid, okay? Because they know what they did during the time of Vercingetorix. Okay, they swept our people off the land. They destroy our people. That is why this thing is happening.
However, what I have witnessed and what is incredibly comforting is how people are sticking together, how they're helping each other, the solidarity among people.
Yeah, just more garbage. Make it look good.
Merkel had promised over $350 million in immediate relief, and billions more to fix collapsed houses, streets, and bridges.
Germany is very wealthy, man. If you didn't know this, Germany is very, very wealthy. If not the wealthiest country in Europe. Let me check. I think Luxembourg. Is it Luxembourg? Okay. But for my research, Germany is the wealthiest. Which is the richest country in Europe?
Luxembourg. According to usnews.com, Luxembourg is the wealthiest country in the European Union per capita, and its citizens enjoy a high standard of living.
I don't like per capita garbage. Let me see. What are the top 5 richest country in Europe? Germany is probably okay. Luxembourg. Germany is not here. Probably they are hiding this. Okay. What are the 10 richest? Iceland. Yeah, Germany is there. Yeah, not per capita garbage. I don't like that. I know Germany. They're really, really rich. Okay, Germany and France. They are very wealthy. Okay, especially Germany. There's nothing even recording right now. Yes, it is. Now, watch the people. They were outraged because of this dude over there, the next president. I don't know, the next chancellor. Watch him in the back.
But the people are still angry, mostly because of this video. This is Armin Laschet, the frontrunner to succeed Merkel as chancellor. He was filmed laughing as the German president made some somber remarks about the floods. Lachey later apologized. A flood is no laughing matter, especially with an election due in September.
So this is the angels coming back and report unto us and showing us that they give those people a spirit of division, a spirit of confusion, a spirit of madness, foolishness, and craziness. You got this very serious thing happen. Hundreds of people died. This guy in the background laughing his ass off. So the people, they did not take it too clearly with him. And then they strife, you know, between each other. Austria.
In Austria, floodwaters have torn through the town of Hallein near Salzburg. The Salzach River is overflowing, with rains showing no signs of stopping. Fortunately, no one has been reported injured, dead, or missing.
So the Mosai is cleaning off the land of the Black Celts. He's cleaning up the land of the Gauls. Okay, we are the Gaulois. Okay, like I explained in my very first video response to Big Judah. Let me see. It should be in the playlist, the noob subscriber playlist. Okay, this is here. This is the video that where we explain. Okay, where Big Judah was asking that. We made this video back in October 10th, and this video, brothers, we explained the whole thing about Atlantis. Let me see. Okay, Vercingetorix, the Druid. That's when we get into the Druid, and then the Mosai was beaming a lot of information in our head, and then we start talking about the Druids. We start talking about the movie, and those are our people. Okay, the priesthood of Mahan, the whole thing, and he killed the priesthood of the Mahanis, and you know, Gaulish. Okay, the language. We are the Gaulois, Gula, the Gula tribe. Okay, they are the original Gula tribe. Okay, the Gula. Wait, hang on. Yeah, so all right, the Gula tribe. Okay, so those were our people. They are still here in South Carolina. Those were the people that was on the land over there ruling, and then they swept them off the land. Okay, now they came here. They are not what you're calling African. They are not African at all. Okay, they got their own culture. Okay, the Gula people. I have some Gula books here I used to read. Their language is pretty interesting. There's one sister that I like so much. This sister like to tell jokes. She told a joke about a pig. It was a pretty good joke. You know, those are the Gula people. Okay, all right. Vanishing history, Gulagichi nation. All right, those are the people that were living over there. Le Gaulois, the Gula, the Gaulish. So, yeah, it's just like it's too much. I really don't want to go into it. But anyway.
But the damage to property is incalculable. In the Netherlands, the floods are dying down, but the damage has made parts inhabitable. Rescue workers are digging deeper into debris left by receding waters.
Okay, so that's Poland. And what you see here, beloved, what you witness here, it is said, let me see. 5 days, 7 nations, 180 deaths. 180 plus in additional destruction. 7 nations, perfect destruction against the nation that took our land and swept our people off the land. Okay, they got Poland, and then they got Belgium. Okay, they got all those things. All praises to the Most High, man. All praises.
Jacksonville yesterday, they're among the 16 men named in a federal indictment. News4Jax spoke with a retired FBI agent about their arrests.
I think this was a long and complex investigation that we're just starting to see the first piece of the unraveling.
News4Jax reporter Corley Peel joins us live outside the federal courthouse in downtown Jacksonville, showing us that this could be the first of more arrests that we'll see, Corley.
Kent, the retired FBI agent I spoke with, says these men that we saw here at the federal courthouse likely won't be the last people charged. And according to the indictment, the gang members even tried to use corrupt law enforcement officers to find out more about this investigation. A violent white supremacist gang called Unforgiven now has 16 of its members indicted on federal charges. 4 of those men are from Jacksonville, Orange Park, and Putnam County. Officials call the group a racketeering enterprise that's accused of murder, kidnapping, robbery, and other violent crimes.
Wow.
I spoke with Tony Kravitz, who is a retired FBI assistant special agent in charge, now CEO of Risk Confidence Group.
They believe in the Aryan philosophy.
Just to clear that out, the true Aryan were the Levites, okay? The Aryan or the Levites. Do your research, all right?
They have their own constitution and bylaws, which we don't know exactly what those are.
Investigators say the crimes date back to 2019. All 4 of the local men indicted were released from prison in 2017 and 2018. The indictment claims Unforgiven used corrupt law enforcement officers and state employees to gather information about people, investigations, and prosecutions.
You would do that through bribery or extortion or sympathetic, which
Okay, so what those guys does, they will find out people that have records, and then they will go ahead and threaten those people to release the record to the family or their job if they don't pay them and stuff like that. That's what they will do.
I think would be rare.
Members of the enterprise created a political branch called Route 21 in an attempt to disguise the white supremacist roots of its political activity, according to the indictment.
Route 21, reverse of 12, destruction.
Kravitz says despite their political aspirations, the charges against the group members are considered violent crimes, not necessarily domestic terrorism.
The difference between just a criminal act and domestic terrorism is that the acts are focused on changing or impacting the nation or a mass amount of people or mass destruction.
All praises to the Most High. So the Most High is using their own people to destroy themselves. All praises.
Reporter Joe McLean joining us live from Edgewood. Joe, police say this was completely preventable.
Preventable, they say. The street racing, he said, is a scourge in this area, and he said it's absolutely, as you said, unacceptable, what JSO's traffic homicide director said. Now, the scene has completely cleared in the last hour. At 4 p.m., we showed you that they were still working to clear the debris from the scene and continue their investigation. And that investigation is still going into what JSO believes was a street racing, a deadly crash. Now, 48-year-old Pamela Stone is
She's 48 years old. You know what to do. Pamela Stone, 48. Do your thing.
Have her picture up on the screen there. She's on the right. They say, JSO says she died at the scene. Her 17-year-old daughter, Chastine Dominguez, is the girl on the left there in the photo. She was also in the car. She was taken to the hospital, and she is expected to recover. Now, they were both in a black Nissan Sentra, and relatives tell us the two were just headed out to a quick errand nearby. And you'll see that black Nissan in the video of the scene that we're showing you. JSO says around 11:30 this morning, 2 other cars, including a silver Dodge Charger, which you'll also see in the video, well, they began racing northbound here on Edgewood Avenue. That driver hit Stone and Dominguez in that Nissan, and the silver car, that one that was racing, rolled over another car that was parked nearby. It finally landed on some bushes on the side of the road. Now, the driver and passenger in that silver Dodge were also taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. I did speak to a witness who was working at a shop right across the street here from where those cars finally ended up. He said Edgewood is notorious for racing.
Okay, so they have this thing going on over there. And even over here in Fort Lauderdale, you got a lot of scumbags in the fast car. And they watch way too many movies and they're out of their freaking mind. And they'll do things like that.
And all we heard was a loud, like, and just heard a smack. And we came running, seen a car flipping.
Sounded like they were racing.
Yeah.
Sounded like
it really sounded. You could tell it was 2 muscle cars, so it had to be they were definitely going fast, you know, and then that's basically it. You just heard a loud, boom. If you sit here all day, you'll hear a lot of racing going on. You'll hear cars all day long, man. Like, so it's a known little strip for racing.
So that's what that is. You got the scumbag going around racing and then killing people.
And got away. According to investigators, just before 2 a.m., there was a verbal altercation that led to a fight between two groups of people outside Blarney Stone Pub in the Gaslamp Quarter. Then someone pulled a handgun and started shooting. Police say the shooter then jumped into a car with two other people and took off.
I heard 4 gunshots. Everybody started running. I saw a guy fall on the ground. Started running towards him.
Several people rushed in to help the victim, including Austin Arroyo, who's active duty in the Navy and started using his medical training. He said the victim had at least 2 gunshot wounds in the upper body.
Everybody was panicking. They tried pulling him into the restaurant, started choking on his own blood, had flipped him over, started running a grenade, doing compressions.
Paramedics arrived and rushed the victim to the hospital where he later died.
All praises to the Most High. And you start to sing and you understand that every single places those people look, every single places that they go, they can't have no peace. They will not have peace. And they can't even go to a bar and get a drink and be at peace.
Minutes earlier, there was another shooting nearby around 7th and Market. Police heard those shots and chased after a car they eventually pulled over and took a man and woman into custody. No one was hurt in that shooting.
I think downtown became a...
Yeah, like the two-third. You can say...
It's a pretty wild place lately.
Yeah, wild man, monkey man, and then animals.
I don't know, it's like the wild, wild west.
Yeah,
And he's not the only one saying that. Just last week, SDPD said there is a spike in gun violence around the city. And coming up next hour, we'll hear from a guy who's running a business down here. Says he's very concerned about the added violence.
Yeah, so all praises to the Most High using the two-third to terrify those people. So, wow, we are pretty much a lot in this video. So what's happening here, those Chinese, those Moabites, they don't say anything about them. You will not see this in the big news. This thing only have like 810 views. So you will not see how those people are destroying people's business and do a lot of stuff. But the moment one of them get their asses ended to them in the street, oh, hate crime, they need bills, they need stuff, and all praises.
A woman who ran over her coworker while drunk learned today how long she will spend behind bars. Her name is Letitia Ingram. She was sentenced to 15 years to life in state prison. The 35-year-old was convicted last year for second-degree murder in the death of her colleague, Ha Min Ta. Prosecutors say that Ingram and her coworkers all went out for a night together in Kearny Mesa in 2019. Her coworkers then pleaded with Ingram, though, not to drive home drunk. When she tried to leave, Ta grabbed onto her car as she sped off, but he was dragged before then falling beneath the tires. Her blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit. She was charged with murder because she also had a 2010 DUI conviction in Orange County.
Yeah, so Letitia Ingram, DUI. Okay, so this woman then killed that fellow. Okay, all right, killed the guy. So stay out of it, brothers. Stay out of it. When things like that happen, beloved, you stay out of it. Somebody, come to a party drunk, they come with you, told them not to drive drunk, they decided to, you stay out of it. All praises.
A dangerous fire, a massive response, hundreds evacuated from Costco as hazmat crews tried desperately to put out the chlorine vapor cloud with streams of water in the middle of a busy afternoon in the Signal Hill parking lot.
Unbelievably shocked.
We spoke with the driver who rented the U-Haul.
I was in Costco and I had a lot of pool supplies, chlorine in my truck, and one of the workers came in and knocked on my back and said, your car's on fire.
In a surprising interview, Zachary Duchin admitted that he flew from Oakland to Southern California to buy all the pool chlorine pellets he could find. They're in very short supply thanks to the pandemic, and stuffed them in the truck.
So now you got this fellow, he flew from Oakland and he got a bunch of chlorine. He probably has a business, and then he tried to drove them to wherever Oakland that he came from. I believe Oakland, California, so to speak. And then the Most High switched the ley line, the whole thing catch on fire. Now he lost everything.
So he could resell them for more than double on Amazon.
There's probably like 30 grand of chlorine in there that's now gone.
Shanice Palmer's son's car was parked next to the U-Haul. He was treated by paramedics at the scene and released, but when she drove up and saw the toxic cloud, she feared the worst.
Where's my son? How's the car? Is anything gonna explode? We're next to a gas station. All kind of different things are coming through my head.
Duchin says he never expected his hustle to go up in smoke. Did you know that you were possibly carrying a flammable, dangerous load?
No, I did not know I was going to carry a bomb with me. What?
Okay, you should have never said this, man. This dude is in a hell of a lot of trouble, man. You should have never said, you should have said none of this thing. You know, the first thing they ask you is say, I don't know anything. I just park my car right here and go get some stuff, then it catch on fire. That's it. You shouldn't say, hey, I bought this, so make money and all that. He's in a hell of a lot of trouble now.
Lucky I was inside and not inside the car.
The Costco parking lot is packed again as crews here behind me continue to clean up. Firefighters are just happy nobody was seriously hurt.
So you see, the Most High is destroying their businesses and all places the Most High.
When another call came in. Around 6:30 Saturday morning, another shooting along Northeast Sandy near 113th. Again, police don't know who pulled the trigger. Again, someone died. Police ID'd this victim as 34-year-old Joseph Dewey. We came here Monday and we found this memorial, and police tell us Joseph Dewey's family, as well as that of Michaela Harris, have been notified. The two deaths mark Portland's 50th and 51st homicides of 2021. Police don't think they're related. At a press conference Saturday, Portland's chief of police offered grim perspective.
We've had 11 shooting incidents resulting in 13 people injured or killed.
Okay, we watch this during the audit, so this is in Portland. So a lot of people are getting killed, man, all praises.
Memorial. Anthony?
Corey and Dawn, a total of 6 teenagers were in that car. 2 of them survived, including the driver, who is now charged, as family members of the victims tonight remember several lives lost way too soon.
Okay, we watched this before, but this is just an update. Let's watch that.
Muriel, he was the funny comedian, have us laughing. Omarion, the gentleman of him, he always strived for what he wanted. He never gave up on nothing.
17-year-old Omarion Reeves and his 15-year-old brother Jamario both died Saturday afternoon when police say the car they were in split in half after going airborne and crashing into a tree. Family members remembering the pair of aspiring athletes as the life of the party.
My brother.
Anytime you hear this, anytime you hear somebody was the life of the party and this person always looking for life or never give up, all this garbage they're talking about, and we watched the video when we saw exactly why the Most High took him out. And you got those people, you just lost a brother, and look at how happy they look, how they stuff, because they really didn't care about that dude. They barely know anything about him. Okay, this dude probably was in a lot of pain, and then he tried to impress people, trying to be the life of the party, going 100 miles an hour, and then the ley line switch, boom.
Brothers were crazy, funny, the most irritating brothers ever. But then my brothers were my best friends. Like, we got on our parents' nerves together. We got in trouble together.
She describes her brother Jamario as a great softball player and that Omarion dreamt of playing in the NBA.
Omarion had the biggest dream because he wanted to play basketball so bad. He thought he was Kyrie Irving. He swore he was going to be Kyrie Irving one day.
Okay, so this is the lifestyle. This is the what you know, a lot of the tutor taught their children. Okay, try to be like the celebrity, try to reach, be a basketball player and stuff. We really don't care about telling our children about the Most High, but no, make it to the stuff and do all those things. And we know when we watch the previous video, the 2 brothers, one of them had a crucifix, of course, on his neck. They are Christian, and the Most High took them out.
Always as a youngin' working, he stayed working. Always, like, he never gave up on working, and I always said he reminded me of his mama because she don't never quit, and he never quit at nothing he did.
16-year-old Destiny Giera and a 4th teenager, 17-year-old Nathaniel Phillips, also died.
Okay, so you they on the car, gang life, speeding and doing stuff, and one of them got charged, right?
Police say the car was going at an extremely high rate of speed in what they believe was an attempt to go airborne over the crest of a hill. Another passenger and the driver right now hospitalized. The driver has been charged as a juvenile with reckless homicide.
Okay, so this is a horrible thing, but hey, watch the previous video. They were Christian Azariah worshiper. Okay.
Always wonder what the suspect is saying in this instance. Now standing up, first time standing up out of the car, another good sign, and you can see a lot of people over here on the sidewalk taking a look at this. Is what I was talking about a lot of times when they circle these neighborhoods, and it just turns into too much of a spectacle. Too many people that want to come out and get video and post it on their social media or whatnot.
They got this guy
into custody. They know, moment for them. I mean, circumstances that led up to all of this, but weapon and or it was peaceful resistance. But here we go. Getting into
driver suspected assault with deadly weapon, taken in custody. Crazy things.
An update on a horrifying crash in the south suburbs. The names of all 4 teens killed in Hickory Hills have now been released. 16-year-old Destiny Guerra, 17-year-old Nathaniel Phillips, 15-year-old Jeremiro Rieves, and 17-year-old Amarian Reeves died after the crash Saturday near 89th Street.
They were all Christian and they all die. All praises to the Most High.
Bodies of 2 people found inside a car on July the 6th at the bottom of a mountainside in the Angeles National Forest have now been identified. The coroner confirms it was a couple reported missing on July the 1st. Their names are Ethan Manzano and Sophia Edwards.
So you are seeing this a lot. They are finding people dead in the car and missing. All praises to the Most High.
Local clubs have closed down, and there's some new surveillance video out this afternoon that basically shows us what it was like Saturday morning around 2:20 when this terrible accident happened.
So those are the guys that they got a show called We Rate Dogs. So they are the podcast fellow, okay? All right. So so he got killed. He was walking, crossing the street, and he got killed.
That the podcaster had been killed in a hit-and-run accident. It happened by the Elan Hotel. Oscar Vargas is the manager.
Nobody would ever want to hear something like that.
Vargas says he's worked at this intersection for 8 years. Says there have been plenty of late-night wrecks, but never a deadly hit-and-run. He says there should be a crosswalk here, and he warns his hotel guests not to cross at this location.
What are you telling them?
Yeah, so all praises to the Most High. We watched this. That was an update.
More breaking news now at the Sowers. Sky 9 live over downtown LA where there is a church fire. Let's go up to Desmond Shaw overhead with the latest. Desmond.
Yeah, Juan, so here we are on the 1400 block of Trinity Street, just south of the 10, pretty close to downtown LA. And you can see, unfortunately, this looks like a church that's a total loss. Now, we heard LA City Fire on some radio chatter saying that this may have actually burned previously, that this church had burned down. And so it looks like...
All praises. So this may have been burned previously. So that means that this is the second time or third time this happened. The Most High is in the midst, man.
Like this may be the second time that this church is burned. A greater alarm fire, and you can see here there was a pretty big collapse. LA City Fire, they actually had to take a defensive posture for quite some time and stay off of the roof and away. And you can see wide a lot of collapsed beams and whatnot. So they're having to kind of fight this from overhead right now. It looks like they basically have it completely knocked down, but there's been more than 100 firefighters fighting this one. The only good news here is that we haven't heard of anyone being injured in this incident.
So we give the Most High praises and glory for everything. You know, Channel 9 bring us the destruction of the priesthood of the Mahan Church. Okay, read this happened yesterday. I drove past this on the 10th freeway and my first thought was I'll get more info on YouTube. That church was abandoned and burnt already. I've seen it in person. It's a big dump. Seems like someone really today. This church was built in 1903, originally by a German congregation. It became a black congregation in the 1950s. I attended during my teen as a member of the Church of Greater Works from 2001 to 2011. So it was built by a German congregation, and there's a flooding going on in Germany. All praises. Church was previously burned in 1995. That's the second time now since that church caught on fire. Let me guess. Fireworks that burned back in 2013. And man, that thing being getting, wow, don't waste water. Wow, burn. What is going on? On the burning down all the churches in New York, they are busting down all the statues. I mean, do these people really hate God that much in America? Let's see the reply. The devil worshippers. I personally worship, pray, and love Jesus because I died from heart attack. Possibly I was, get the hell out of here. 38 years ago, I had a hysterectomy, and a couple of days later, I died. Loony religious probably burn this again. I hope for all your sake this wasn't black church. We all know who burn churches in America. They are not black or brown people. Hopefully that's not the case here. All praises to the Most High. The priesthood of Mahana catching hell. Okay, 2 people killed in Sacramento. We watched this before, okay? A lot of things, man. A lot of shooting going on and people are dying. All praises to the Most High.
Carousel and Ferris wheel. Rides attractive to parents and their children.
Wild, I guess you can say. It's not so family oriented.
It's upsetting for Sharice Kempton, who can't imagine 2 people getting shot to death at the popular tourist trap.
Seems to be that crime lately is maybe personal.
Sacramento police say 6 people.
Okay, all right, let's watch the video. Watch this.
New video shows a violent scene playing out in Sacramento. Authorities say 6 people were shot and 2 people died when gunfire rang out this weekend. Renee Santos reports on how the popular tourist area is turning into a hotspot for crime.
Disturbing video shows a shootout in the middle of Old Sacramento. We're stopping the video at this point as the shooters continue firing. The violence happening just feet away from this carousel and Ferris wheel. Rides attractive to parents and their children.
Wild, I guess you can say. It's not so family oriented.
It's upsetting for Sharice Kempton, who can't imagine 2 people getting shot to death at the popular tourist trap.
Seems to be that crime lately is maybe personal.
Sacramento police say 6 people were shot following a fight, leaving 2 dead. So what's going on in Old Sacramento? We're waiting to hear back from Sacramento police on whether they've seen an increase in crime, but we do know the area has seen violence in the past 6 months.
Yes, because the plague is in the midst, because the 400 is up. Plague number 9 and number 5 is here.
In February, Sacramento police ramped up patrols in Old Sac after violent fights broke out involving teens. And in January, a man was shot along 2nd Street. Meantime, police tell CBS officers are seeing a rise in homicides since 2019. Since January 1st to the end of May this year, citywide police have made over 200 arrests related to illegal firearm possession and are seeing a 120% increase in firearm-related assaults.
Very sad. Well, this is what we're coming to, people.
Patty Rodriguez lives just across the river and feels the area is starting to get overrun with people who are up to no good.
Yeah, black folks.
I think the problems are coming with them.
It's sad when you have to feel worried about going to a place to see that you're going to be safe and be able to come home.
Okay, give them a spirit of fear. The Most High is using the 2/3 because the 2/3 are expendable. The Most High really don't care about them. He just sent them over there to destroy those people.
Derice is taking note of unwelcome crime, wondering why a one-time family-oriented tourist attraction is now attracting violence.
Yeah, that's the blessing is over.
There's lots of different crowds around. It's just sad.
Yeah, they are talking about like the 2/3. All praises to the Most High.
Besides me and him, so how do you guys know what was going on for those last 3 days?
So I don't really want to bring that in because, you know, I feel her voice and I'm like, that's not what happened.
12:30 this morning, and only the father survived.
And a tragic case here, a 14-year-old boy arrested for stabbing his mother to death. It happened at the family home on Sylvester Drive, just off of Paseo Padre Parkway in the North Gate area of Fremont. We get more now from KTVU's Deborah Villalone live tonight in Fremont. Deborah.
Andre, both parents were attacked about 12:30 this morning, and only the father survived.
The call did come from the residents.
911, dialed from this home on Sylvester Drive, summoned Fremont police just before 1 a.m.
It's obviously a very big and tragic incident for that area.
Officers arrived to find a man and woman with multiple stab wounds. The woman was already dead.
The father was conscious at that time.
The man able to speak.
They were able to get enough information to determine it was their son that was the suspect in this case.
So now you see, beloved, how those people cannot get along, not even with their own family, not even with their own siblings, not even with their own offspring. The Most High put it in the midst that they go at each other's throat and kill each other.
A 14-year-old boy already gone. Police set up a perimeter, getting help from Newark and Union City PDs. And a half hour later,
approximately a mile away at a residence, when we got the call about the juvenile being found covered in blood.
He was taken into custody. Family members outside the home Friday afternoon were comforted by friends and neighbors. All declined to talk about the couple and their son. Police are mum on motive as they tackle many questions.
Why this occurred, how this occurred, and what actually took place.
If anyone in the area has security video related to the incident or aftermath, investigators want to see it.
Okay.
Fremont, with its low crime rate, certainly does not expect a homicide in this family-oriented area.
The suspect is the child of the victims. I think that is highly unusual. And it's a very tragic, sad event.
Yeah, so all praises to the Most High. The Most High is doing his work. Okay.
Safety alert tonight. A man caught on camera pointing his phone up a shopper's dress.
And police fear there may be more victims. Local 10's Christian De La Rosa is live in Pembroke Pines with a closer look at the suspect. Christian.
Well, Calvin, Nicole, right now, Lord only knows how many women have been victimized by this man and don't even know it. The video is jaw-dropping. Watch the woman in the blue dress. She's shopping in the skincare aisle, unaware she's about to be targeted by a creep. Watch him, making sure the coast is clear before putting his phone below her skirt, appearing to take pictures or video. The victim clearly feeling something was wrong and looks back. The shameless man running away.
It makes me feel like I should carry pepper spray around.
The creepy.
So, why did I bring this video? It shows you the Most High is making it so uncomfortable for them out there. And he make it like the Most High unleash all kind of scumbags. The Most High is releasing all kind of demons out there, you know, to do things to those people, beloved brothers and sisters. Yeah, that's what that is. That's why I bought this here, man. All praises, man.
Pandemic. It is witnessing a record rise in cases daily. Hospitals are overwhelmed. The government's slow pace of vaccine procurement has drawn criticism, and severe COVID-19 restrictions have affected the economy. People living in remote communities are bearing the brunt of the rapid spread. Basic testing facilities have become inaccessible for them. Overwhelmed health officials are now stepping up action to increase testing in remote areas. Doctors and nurses wearing personal protective equipment are traveling by boats to treat and test people in areas that lack these basic amenities.
ถ้าโดยส่วนตัวก็คือเราก็ต้องทำเพื่อคนไข้อะค่ะแต่ว่าคือการเดินทาง
Okay, so this is in Indonesia, no, in Thailand. So this thing is getting out of control. Okay, Thai protester demand Premier Chan Ho Cha resignation over crisis. World English. So yeah, it's really bad over there. Okay, this is the Iranian. He's shooting at the people. Okay, shooting at them. Okay, shooting at them. All right. All praises to the Most High.
Violent storms sent powerful floodwaters destroying entire town.
Okay, I think I did this before. All right, we'll close with that.
Plausible. So athletes went.
We'll close with this.
Let's end where we began, the Tokyo Olympics. Let's talk about the Olympic Village. It's not just a place to stay. It's a place to flaunt, almost like a hotel for the athletes. And what's the first thing you do at any hotel? You check out the room. That's exactly what most of the athletes did. Immediately, they noticed a problem. Let's see if you can spot it. This is what rooms at the Tokyo Olympic Village look like. The problem we're talking about is pretty central to the room. I'll give you a hint. Look closely at the beds. Do they look rather flimsy to you? As if they may fall apart at any moment. Well, they should, because these beds are made out of cardboard. Now, cardboard is not exactly sturdy.
So what happening in Tokyo now, they just say, hey man, no more of that cookie thing. I think the beloved brother uploaded a video an hour ago. So what's happening over there in Tokyo? No more cookies, man. They're like, hey man, you guys not gonna bake in there. So they make a little bed made out of cotton and stuff, you know. And you know, if Big Levi went one of those bed and just lay in it, and that's it, man. That's it. I'm like, yo, man, I didn't come here to bake, man. I came here. I'm a former boxer. I just come here to just chill and participate. Yeah, but why is your bed destroyed? Hey, man, yo, I'm over 400 pounds, man. I just crushed the bed. You know, this is ridiculous. This is the Most High, beloved, putting the spirit on those people. It make them paranoid. They say they are doing this to for, you know, the athlete to do not have contact on each other so they won't spread the virus. Get out of here, man. Beloved, you see what's going on. You see the Most High's wrath. You see the judgment is in the midst. Give the Most High praises and glory, okay? Anderson police investigated death of 2 children at home near US 95, Las Vegas. Oh, boy. I'm gonna click.
We are getting straight to breaking news tonight after 2 children were found dead in a Henderson home.
Madison Kimbrough is on scene near the 95 and Sunset with more on what she has been able to learn. Madison?
Yeah, Henderson police and fire arrived around 6:30 this evening. Now, we were told to leave the property, but we did get footage of the active scene before we left. As you can see, you can take a look here. This happened on Calamus Palm Place at the Willows gated community near 95 and West Sunset. The identity of the 2 children have not been released yet, but we can confirm that the deaths appear to be suspicious in nature. We have no further details as to what that might entail. Now, residents in the neighborhood say they didn't hear anything, but saw an influx of police cars enter the neighborhood all at once earlier tonight. Not too long after, according to neighbors, a man was seen on the ground, undetained, kneeling with his head down. Now, we are still awaiting details from Henderson police, but make sure to check 8newsnow.com.
So now you see children are killing their parents, parents are killing their children. It's crazy, beloved. It's crazy. Iraq bomb blast kills. There you go. I can't even finish this. Watch this, beloved.
This is the aftermath of the attack on the Al-Wahilat busy market in Al-Sadr city, a majority Shia neighborhood in the east of the Iraqi capital, Baghdad. The dead and injured include women and children. The market was crowded with people who went out shopping for the Muslim holiday of Eid al-Adha.
The explosion happened here during the busiest hour in the market. This is the gate of the market, and the blast occurred just when it became crowded. Bodies were everywhere. You would have walked on bodies of children, women, and elderly people, all human beings. Even if you tried to lift a body, you couldn't.
Wow, damn.
The government called it a terrorist attack and ordered the arrest of the local police commander as part of an investigation. Less than 24 hours before the attack, security forces announced the arrest of a top ISIL commander. ISIL had carried out similar attacks in the area this year. Observers are concerned the country is likely to see similar attacks as we approach the upcoming parliamentary elections, which they say could foment sectarian conflict and political rivalries in Iraq.
All praises to the Most High. So many things are happening, beloved. So many things. Heavy rain flooding in southern Utah. Brutal assault. Councilmen speak from hospital after attack. I think everyone is in trouble now. Oh, I need to. Oh, man. I need to see this. Let me like it so I can watch it
tonight. And
okay, we gotta, you know, it's already 4:30 a.m. I gotta go get some shut eye. Biden walks back, criticism, a lot, brothers, a lot. Beloved, I'm leaving you. I'm tired. Gotta go to sleep. Plus, I gotta upload this thing. All praises to the Most High, beloved. I'll see you whenever the Most High says so. Shalom. Fast. Pray. Repent. Repeat. May the King reign forever.